Who said that Indian actors cannot win Oscars? Rubbish. We have produced phenomenal actors. You don't know them, you say. Well, haven't you watched the latest act by Aaj Tak? Well, if you haven't, you missed on a remarkable piece of the act, which will put shame on all the best actors you ever knew. If this act goes viral, India has a glorious chance to bag a few Oscar trophies. Now, further ado, hold tight because you are going to witness one of the finest acts ever in India. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI English, the national and socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tribhuvan, and in this video, I will tell you about the Oscar-worthy drama of Aaj Tak UP journey. Let's begin. Ever since Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the newly developed Kashi Vishwanath corridor on December 13, the Islamo-leftist cabal has been up and arm about it. Now putting on an incredibly convincing act, one Naushad Alam, a tourist who supposedly travelled from Kolkata, West Bengal to Varanasi to perform namaz at the Gyanvyapi Mosque, has laid bare his pain. Interviewed by a UP Aaj Tak reporter named Sushma Pandey, who supposedly gathered a mob of skull-cap wearing Muslims for a vox pop, the individual in question starts with his sob story. Alam iterates that he is in pain after coming to Gyanvyapi Mosque for performing his namaz. He states, "I don't understand the situation here. They have hidden the mosque and the Mandir is made in such a grand manner. What is this? I am a tourist here. I can see the things. I feel the pain, you know."
हमारे नमाज पढ़ने हमको तो ये हालात देख के समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि मस्जिद को पूरा ढक दिया गया, मंदिर को इस तरीके से विशाल बनाया गया. What is this? I am a tourist here, so I can see the things. I feel the pain, you know.
When asked whether he thinks the entire mosque is hidden, Alam on cue showed his dark side. Seething with anger, he leaned towards the anchor and remarked, "Can't you see? Can you see the mosque? I am from Kolkata. I feel the pain. I cannot tolerate it. How can you all just hide the facts? You should see what is going on. It is not tolerant. People are misguided."
आपको दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है? Can you see the mosque? I am from Kolkata. I feel the pain. I cannot tolerate it. How can you all just hide the facts? It's not tolerant. The people are misguided.
Continuing his monologue, Alam said, "Constitution grants equal rights. Can you suppress one's rights? Is it right?" He said that he was visiting for the first time and offered namaz for the first time in the mosque. "I am in pain and in my 40 years, I have never been this pain."
हिंदुस्तान है, ये लोकतंत्र है, सबको अधिकार है. संविधान में सबको बोला गया बराबर हक है. किसी का हक को आप दबा दीजिएगा? ऐसा होता है क्या? पहली बार आए हैं और इस मस्जिद में पहली बार मैंने नमाज अदा की है. देख के जो दुख हुआ है, मैंने 40 साल की जिंदगी में ये दुख कभी मैंने उठाया नहीं था.
Showing that he was from one of the most sophisticated and intellectual parts of the country, which produces poverty-porn economists, Alam expounded his pain in English, albeit broken, but English nevertheless.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Watching Alam getting emotional and shedding tears, the empath in Sushma Pandey gave him a hand. Miss Pandey grazed her hands over the shoulder of Alam and consoled him. She said, "Stay, don't go, don't feel stressed," and asked, "So you believe there is only one-sided development here?" To which Alam, speaking for Hindus, rightfully remarked, "Leave development. Someone's right is being suppressed."
तो आपको लग रहा है कि एक तरफा विकास हो रहा है, एक तरफा बात?
विकास की बात छोड़िए ना यार, किसी का राइट को दबा दिया गया.
Indeed, Alam is right, as Hindus and their belief were trampled and suppressed by Aurangzeb when he constructed an eyesore Gyanvyapi Mosque in the compounds of Kashi Vishwanath. However, the empathy shown by the anchor quickly went for a toss when a Hindu local passed by. Seeing the crocodile tears, started to put his version forward. Sensing that her narrative was being spoiled, Miss Pandey sprung up into action and said, "1 minute, we are not talking to you. Go away. Please go away. Should we call the police? Security?" Afterwards, she turned towards her Muslim audience and tells them to focus on the interview while the Hindu man keeps mum on the fringe.
हाँ, आपके सामने
नहीं हो रहा सर, वो विकास हो रहा है.
Rather than being objective and hearing both sides of the argument, the great Aaj Tak reporter wanted to put forth a partisan bulletin, which she might have succeeded in doing so if it wasn't for the intervention of the Hindu man. Meanwhile, the netizens, impressed by the performance of Mr. Alam, asked him to try his hand in Bollywood. The body language, the slow build-up leading to the crescendo of emotional outburst really moved the internet audience. with one so impressed that he wanted a little commission for Alam's acting prowess. It's indeed quizzical that for a Muslim individual, Gyanvyapi Mosque, which has no historical significance, becomes such a passionate subject when the authorities have merely covered it so that the construction debris from the adjoining temple cannot fall on it. Imagine the plights of Hindus on whose ancestral lands a barbarous marauder like Aurangzeb raised a historic temple. Throughout his history, Kashi Vishwanath Mandir had been attacked more than once, with the final invasion coming under the Mughal tyrant Aurangzeb in 1670, who had it demolished, and a mosque was built hurriedly over the remains of the same, which is known today as Gyanvyapi Masjid. Mosque named Gyanvyapi sounds strange, doesn't it? Well, anyways, the Kashi Vishwanath Mandir, which stands today, was constructed on an adjacent site by the Maratha warrior queen Ahilyabai Holkar in 1780. According to Hindu beliefs, the original Jyotirlinga is what has now been built into a Gyanvyapi mosque. The Hindu devotees therefore want an excavation that will affirm their belief and claim to the disputed site. The opposing Muslim side had, however, opposed the plea for an archaeological survey. They argued that a stay on excavation should continue to be enforced and not be vacated. But this plea made by Sunni Waqf Board and Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid was rejected by the trial court. Proving that Gyanvyapi Mosque was built on the ruins of the Vishwanath temple should not be a tedious task, for the ASI as the structure and its pillar are visible to the naked eye. The only hurdle in the path of the Places of Worship Act 1991, which has also been challenged in the court.